Are you looking for the ultimate guide to Subterranauts? Can't find the answer to your questions about the game? Look no further than our encyclopedia, the Subterraguide. Subterranauts is a relatively safe scrap collection compared to others in the genre. However, the trickiest and most important part of the game is finding enough resources to meet your assignment. In this video, we will go through all the tips and styles to collect and sell scrap, and our recommendation for the most efficient methods. Scrap in Subterranauts is what gives you resources for your assignment. Your assignment is always shown in the top left of your screen and contains 4 different resources. Some scrap contains multiple resources at once, like the broken speaker, while others contain just one specific resource, like rubber tires. At each station of an assignment, scrap is divided into 2 groups, the facility scrap and the outdoor scrap. The facility will usually have 2/3 or more of the total scrap and should be prioritized. A quick shout out to our Discord server. We are going to be hosting a Subterranauts giveaway at 300 members, and we'll also be hosting a server-wide event in December, so make sure to join that. Scrap placement varies by facility type, but there are consistencies. The factory is the easiest facility to find scrap in because of its small size and lack of visual distraction. Scrap is usually placed anywhere on the floor, on shelves, or in boxes. Boxes themselves can be on the floor or on shelves and can hide the scrap if you don't check each one. Scrap is not usually in the stack of 3 boxes, however. To check a box or shelf quickly, simply look at it and press the interact button as if something was there. If there is something there, the crosshair will turn fully white and a prompt will appear. The lab facility, which can be identified by its green color, is significantly harder to find scrap in without a scanner. Most common scrap locations are still on the floor or in boxes as before. Scrap can also be found on desks, which replace the shelves from the factory. The difficulty is that this map is a lot darker and the desks always contain a lot of other junk that can't be picked up. As you play, you will get more familiar with which items are collectible scrap and which are not. You can still go to the desks and pay attention to the crosshair to see if there is anything you can grab. The Flesh facility is a very large map with long hallways and interesting room designs. It is one of the brightest maps, but the desks have a lot of junk that makes it hard to see scrap at a glance. The loot density is also smaller because of the map size. Check the floor and desks as you would in the lab. The Backrooms facility is rare, but it is the easiest map to loot on. Items here will usually be on the ground, but there are some shelves to look on as well. On the outside, loot typically spawns on the shelves and in boxes inside buildings or randomly on the ground anywhere in the map. Other than the shelves, there does not seem to be a higher likelihood for ground loot to be in the buildings, so it is important to check everywhere. Broken trains, old train cars, and the round buildings do seem to get ground loot more regularly though. There are many strategies for scrap collecting. Going in with nothing usually just entails checking quickly all the most likely spots and spamming the interact button until you find something. A flashlight can help though if you can't afford a scanner yet. Another strategy is communicating via radio with someone at the train terminal. The minimap upgrade can guide you in navigation and enemy detection, but it doesn't show loot. However, the train minimap shows loot as small green dots, so a buddy with a radio or the helmet radio upgrade can guide you. This is difficult and inefficient without practice and a system. Okay.
Oh, and I need you to trust me and just walk.
Okay, where?
Turn right. Walk. You can walk faster.
It's a wall! The body cam equipment can also be used in combination with this, as the player working the terminal can see both the minimap and your view inside to guide you better. The absolute best equipment in this game for efficiency is the scanner. The scanner costs $90, which is a lot for early game, but it shows all the items, scrap, and enemies in the vicinity, and the distances they are away from you. The scanner's effect lasts until the scanner charges to be used again, so sometimes things will pop up as you are walking. The absolute most efficient method of looting is quickly going through each room, scanning once or maybe twice, and only stopping if something is detected. A good light source like a lantern or crank flashlight combos really well with this, but it will reduce your carrying capacity. Good fast navigation is the absolute most critical part of the game, and it will take the most practice. The general idea is to have some sort of order to where you go, to check as much as possible as quickly as possible, and still be able to find your way back. For one, you should remember the general direction that the elevator is using your helmet compass at the top of the screen, so that you have a target if you are absolutely lost. We like to start from the far right and just work our way from right to left. Leave doors open to let yourself know that path is checked off and work through the closed doors. Doors open away from you, so if the open door is facing towards you, it means you originally came from the opposite way and are now going towards the elevator. As you are going and filling up your inventory with scrap, you should pile scrap near doorways as important junctions. This gives you space to collect more, helps you bring it back a little at a time instead of going all the way to the elevator, and shows you which doorway you should be going back through to get to the elevator. Once you work all the way from right to left of a branch from the main room, you can go in the next branch. Other players can use the same method to loot the other branches, or they can go from left to right and meet in the middle. Especially in the back rooms, where branches are all interconnected, organized navigation is key. For dual play, both players should ideally have scanners, and one go right to left while the other go left to right. If you have a third, they can take the middle branch, assist with transferring loot piled up by the other two, or look for scrap outside. The most efficient method probably involves a hybrid of all of those, with the third being your most versatile player who can check on the others in case someone dies and leave earlier for transfer and looting outside. The looting specialists should be the best navigators and should go quickly, relying primarily on their scanners. A 4-person team would be similar to this with 2 supporters and 2 main looters. A 5-person team should have 2 duos looting the facility, one from right and the other from left. Each duo will have a looter with a scanner and flashlight and a navigator with backpack equipment. The backpack increases your inventory to 6, giving your duo a 10 scrap capacity. This allows you to help each other navigate faster and gives backup if someone dies. The 5th person will primarily loot the surface in early day and then check the facility later to check in on the looting crew and transfer items. A 6th person could either work primarily on the terminal, guiding people with the minimap and helmet radio, or be a 3rd scanner to cover the middle section of the facility faster. If you have a player on the terminal minimap, we think that they should only tell a player if there's loot in a room or if it can be skipped. The player being guided should still have a scanner if possible. Players looting outside should check the outer perimeter near the elevator first and then work their way towards the train. Then they should check the area on the opposite side of the train from the elevator, which is usually smaller. We hope this video was informative and helpful to your endeavors. Feel free to go back to any point in the video, as it covered a lot of ground about how to cover a lot of ground. Look out for more chapters of the Subterraguide.